been in college for 3 years sounds bizarre to me. I remember just yesterday being in high school and believing my best self belonged at a college like Harvard or Columbia. To be honest, I was applying to these colleges because of the desire to attend a school as majestic as Harry Potter's Hogwarts. I wanted to go to a college I could brag about to other people and tell them that I'd made it. Apart from wanting to attend a renowned school, I knew I was entering a new chapter, and I ultimately wanted to write my own story. I wanted to be the one to unlock my own potential and make my own success. Although I had no idea what success really meant, I do recall thinking it was associated with those students on the college brochures. Seeing those overly enthusiastic students on the cover made me feel like they did college the right way. Not only did they work hard in their courses, but they found balance and purpose in their lives. And they embraced all the extracurricular opportunities that their college had to offer, such as clubs and internships. Essentially, I wanted to be like them, which would become my first goal upon entering college. After being denied by the Ivy League schools, I thought my life was over. Honestly, did not know where I wanted to go or believed that I could be successful if I didn't attend one of these schools. However, I received a call from one of my friends from high school who was in his first year at SUNY Paltz, who was a member of the Scholars Mentorship Program and wanted me to attend the open house. I remember he told me about all the wonderful and diverse opportunities the school had to offer. Although I had been accepted to New Paltz, I didn't really know much about the college except that it had the major I was interested in. This conversation sparked my interest, so I looked up the school online to see its plan to study. Ironically, however, it wasn't the information that I read online that made me believe my friend's word, but rather the atrium. Seeing that blue, oddly shaped glass building that wasn't just a spectacle, but was also a center that held the life of the school within it. For some reason, seeing such a unique building made me feel like the school itself wasn't afraid of being the same way. It embraced taking risks and being different. It seemed like a college that transformed normal people into great leaders and world impactors. Along with not attending the college I initially believed I was going to, I also scrapped my initial dream of becoming an actor. Now, I was really only going into acting because I wanted to become Tony Stark in the future, and I love superhero films. And I felt scared not knowing what I wanted to pursue as a career. Because I wanted to begin college with some form of direction, I spoke with my mother, and we decided that I would major in engineering. Despite her believing it was a good field with a lot of job security, the opportunity to see if this was the right decision came about when I took Intro to Engineering. My first real engineering course that would make or break if engineering was right for me. Within the first few classes, I received an essay assignment asking me what I believed engineering was and why I wanted to be an engineer. Now, after hearing reasons why other students chose engineering, like family ties or the desire to recreate renewable energy, I didn't believe my reason of wanting to build Iron Man suits and Spider-Man web shooters was an acceptable response, but I included it anyway. Before returning our papers, my professor told the class that those who thrive in the engineering field aren't those who are simply skilled in math and science, but those who have creative minds. I received an A+ on that assignment, and this paper was the first indicator to me that I made a good decision. Although I was sure of engineering as a major, I still wanted to pursue acting. Back in high school, I did a few years of theater and stopped because of the drama in the drama club. I decided that I would take time in college to try it again and see if it was something I would like to pursue as a pastime, but nothing more. The opportunity presented itself when I had to select an arts general education class. The options included art history, studio art, film, and music and theater arts courses. I jumped at the chance to enroll in Intro to Acting and immediately fell in love with it. This class made me realize that I enjoyed interacting with other people. It provided a balance to my engineering career, which would have included sitting in front of a computer most of the time. I began to see how interacting would help me both during and after college with oral presentations and public speaking. I was excited that I did not have to give up on my acting dream. With my first semester underway, I began thinking about finding an internship or a job for the summer. I remember running into a friend who just left a meeting with the T. Howard Foundation, a professional organization which helps students to find internships in the entertainment industry. Seeing big-name companies on that pamphlet, such as HBO, NBC, and Hulu, were ones that have entertained me for years and made me want to apply for an internship. Yet I thought I wouldn't stand a chance against upperclassmen with greater experiences in their major than I had. Minutes later, the representative from the T. Howard Foundation asked me for directions to her car. I took the time to introduce myself to her, including my major and even the fact that I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with my future. And despite my uncertainty in my future, the representative encouraged me to apply. From this simple encounter, I took a risk and landed an internship with the NBA that summer. This experience was one that I never thought I'd be able to obtain, let alone this early in my college career. During the internship, I got to really see the possible routes that an engineer could take with their degree. Along with being able to brag to my friends that for 3 months I was essentially getting paid to try out new technology, I got flown out to Las Vegas to create the NBA virtual reality experience. While checking out games courtside, I also learned an important lesson. The reason why I got to where I was at that moment in time was because I did not let my interest in what I viewed as two opposing majors discourage, but rather empower me to bring something different to the table. Doing so led me to receive an offer to work there full-time after graduation. Through various opportunities at Paltz, I've been able to grow and take risks that continue to shape me as an individual. These opportunities have also impacted how I view my major and my passion for acting. After Intro to Acting, I was hungry to grow as an actor. I joined a number of clubs on campus, including the TBA Improv Troupe, Fresh Act, and the Miami Theater Players, where I had tons of fun performing in a plethora of musical experiences and theater experiences such as musicals and skits. Despite my heavy involvement in the clubs on campus, I only perceived acting as a pastime and nothing more, because of my fear of not having a chance in the industry. However, one Saturday night, I was hanging out with my friends and I stumbled upon a Facebook ad for a casting call for the host of a reboot of the classic Nickelodeon show Blue's Clues. I joked with my friends about how funny it would be if I auditioned for the role, and they encouraged me to just try it and see what would happen. The following week, I went to the TV station on campus, filmed my audition tape, and sent it in. After a couple days, I received a call from the casting director inviting me to an in-person audition. I wish I could describe the feeling after receiving that call, but about to explode seems the most accurate. And I thought, I could be the next Steve. Although it was last minute and I wasn't a theater major, I sought the help of the theater department, and they accepted me with open arms. Different students and theater professors met with me to help me prepare for my audition. As a result, I made it all the way to the final callback stage, and despite not getting the role, I left with a great connection to the casting director and a revelation. At Paltz, you are not your major. Along with the acting clubs, I was also a student ambassador, where I gave campus tours and shared my experience with potential students. Besides allowing me to share my love for this school, I essentially got to guide students not only through campus, but through the difficulty this stage in life brings. It made me grateful for how far I've come and helped me to better understand that you are never alone when entering a new chapter of life. There's many others going through the same difficulties and having the same doubts. Ultimately, through this experience, I learned that Paltz truly attracts many different people of so many different interests and backgrounds, and they support and provide opportunities to each student to become their best selves. You're at a stage where you are taking a risk and asking yourself many questions about your future. Well, the answer is in one of the most common mottos that New Paltz recites. Come as you are. When you sent in your application, the admissions staff wasn't only looking at your scores, but the glimpses of your personality in your application, such as the story you chose to put in your college essay and your extracurricular activities. They understand you may not exactly know what you want to do in the next 4 years, but the reason you were accepted is probably because of the fact that you are an individual with many different interests and passions. Some you are sure of pursuing, and others you will discover. These are the ingredients of being successful. Not being restricted by a specific major, but breaking the molds to surprise the world with what you could do. You have potential, and New Paltz is the place where you optimize it. Here at New Paltz, we not only give you the option to explore your interest, but to also work with a community of people who will help you realize those talents to make a better world. Whether you're at a club meeting, the dining hall, or the student union, you will be surrounded by different people who understand that diversity is not defined by our race or gender, but by the unique perspectives we bring to the table to change and enhance those discussions. Ultimately, by choosing New Paltz, I realized that the simple fact of getting admitted to the school made me and every single person on this campus worthy of being placed on a college brochure. Lastly, by choosing New Paltz, I took the risk that allowed me to grab the pen that writes my story and make this current chapter worth reading. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your visit today on campus.